So today we're going to roast 16 pounds of Brazil coffee in the new BC-35. We're also going to do a artisan run while we're doing that. So we're going to set up and get ready. So we got artisan set up and just on. We're not running it yet. I'm going to dump my 16 pounds of Brazil coffee into the hopper. So just as a reminder, your gas valve is off because the pilot light valve on the back is on. I've got my airflow between 0 and 2. My drum speed is at 80%. I'm going to go ahead and hit the igniter. And for the first start, you may need to adjust the airflow back and forth a little bit to help it catch to that flame. If it doesn't catch in the first 3 or 4 seconds, the alarm goes off like we just see here, and the solenoid is shut down to prevent excessive gas from building up in the burner room. So you basically just need to do that again. If it doesn't start the first time, give it a little bit of airflow, adjust it around and try it again. When it lights, you'll see that light is on. You'll also be able to see in the burner room that one burner is lit. Because of the light shining in from outside, I can't probably get a view of that on the camera. But other videos we've done have shown that. Now that we've got that one burner going, we can slowly turn on our other 54 burners, which are now on, and you can hear them on, and you can see quite a flame there. After a while, I'll see if I can get a little video of that. We're roasting this with an LPG model. We're going to let it preheat. I should have hit the timer when I started it, but we're going to let it preheat and keep an eye on that, and then we'll do a test in a moment or so to see what the true temperatures are in the drum. So we're going to leave it at a fairly low gas rate. Well, let me bump it up a little bit. I'm going to go up to 2.5 kPa, and that of course is with propane. You would never go that high with natural gas. And my airflow is set to about 2. So let's let that go and warm things up for a bit, and then we'll do a roast. So we've been preheating for about 5.5 minutes. I've cut back the kPa to about 2.25. I think I bumped up the airflow just a little bit, closer to 3, a little bit less than 3. And we're just taking a slow preheat. I'll probably take it up to about 400, maybe even 450, since this is the first roast and it hasn't been preheated. And then I'll probably bump off the gas and just see how quickly it drops and stabilizes. I want to charge my first roast at about 350 actual degrees on the metals in the drum. And some people will preheat for 20 minutes, maybe set it for 400, let it maintain that, preheat it for 20 minutes, and then go ahead and charge it. I'm not going to take that time today because I have limited time. Plus in Arizona it's always so warm anyway that it doesn't seem to take that long to preheat. I went ahead and had Artisan hooked up, and I'm running it during the preheat just to make sure everything's working fine. According to Artisan right now, evidently I started the roaster about 6 minutes and 17 seconds ago. And so we're up right now at about 460 degrees on the BT. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to cut off all my gas, turn down my airflow to about 0, and just watch it drop and see how it stabilizes. Because I really want the inside drum temperature to be somewhere between 350 and 400 degrees when I charge the beans. I personally tend to like to charge mine at a little bit lower temperature than some people, but that's entirely up to you. And part of it's going to depend on if you're doing a full roast. If you're doing a full roast, of 35 pounds, I probably would charge it at about 400 degrees and give it a lot of heat at the beginning in order to get that turnaround, as well as get the momentum going so we can do a drying phase in 5 to 7 minutes. It varies. Some roasters like to take longer on big roasters like this. I like to keep mine under 7 minutes if I can, but always on the first roast, you're never really truly seeing what the real temperatures are. Speaking of temperature, it looks like my Canon camera is overheating, mainly because it was dropped at times past, so I may be switching to the Olympus camera, which doesn't have a zoom lens, so we may have limited viewing, but we'll see how it goes. So I've let it go a couple minutes, and it looks like our temperature is going to be closer to that 380 range. I'm going to go ahead and reset my Artisan, and I don't want to save that. And so now that it's reset, I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to go ahead and hit the start button even before I've got the gas lit. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and cut my gas back just a little bit, and I can go ahead and hit the roasting button because it's going to light them all quickly. I'm going to turn up my airflow to about 2, and I'm going to go ahead and charge the beans. So I'm going to try to hit this charge button and get over here and open the hopper. And we got 16 pounds of Brazil coffee. Sounds like they all went in there. And so we'll see how they do on the turnaround. And I may be doing a shorter video because of the overheating of this camera, so I may only be recording key features, and hopefully it holds up. So just to give you some stats, we have an 80% drum speed. We have the airflow set at a little bit below 3. The KPA on the propane roaster is at 2 1/4, I believe. Actually about 2 1/3. And we've just seen our turnaround, which hit at about 1 minute and 15 seconds at 180 degrees. So we charged it at about 380. It turned around at 180. So at this point, I'm just going to watch it and watch the predictive feature as it develops on the Artisan and determine whether I need to give it a little bit more gas, keep it at the same gas, or increase or decrease the gas. So here we are at about 4.5 minutes, well actually less than that, into the roast. Between 4 and 4.5 minutes into the roast, we're at about 290 degrees, and I've bumped up the airflow to closer to 4 because of some excessive debris in the chaff unit, in the drum, and it looks like we're going to hit 330 about 500 degrees. I bumped down the gas to 2 kPa. I'm probably going to bump it down just a little bit more, maybe to 1.75. So here we are, right at about 5.5 minutes, 5:38, and it's 330 degrees. I've bumped back the kPa to 1.75. I'm actually going to bump it back to 1.5. And then I'm going to bump the airflow up to about 6.5 to help pull more chaff and smoke out of the roaster. Just to bring you in on the Artisan a little bit, the predictive feature says that at about 10 minutes I'm going to be at about 430 degrees. At this rate, maybe 420, which is about where I want to be. My airflow is I'm bumping it up now to about 7. My kPa on the gas is at about 1.5. I'm going to bring you over so you can see the inside of the, or through the drum window. Okay, so we're starting to get a nice brown on this, very light roast. Hasn't gone into first crack yet. I'm still seeing a little bit of excessive chaff, so I'm bumping the airflow up to 8. We're at 385 degrees, and I can hear the beans are going into a first crack. On the ET, we're really high at 478, so I'm bumping down the gas to about 1 1/4 kPa. Yeah, getting a nice first crack. We're at basically about 9 minutes at 400 degrees. 9 minutes and 10 seconds, somewhere right around there. So here we are, it's 9.5 minutes, we're 410 degrees, 1 1/4 on the kPa, 80% on the drum speed. I'm now bumping my airflow up to a little over 9. We're probably going to drop these beans really soon. We're at 416 degrees. Right at about 10 minutes, we're at 420 degrees on the bean. It's looking nice. I'm going to go just a little bit higher. Okay, we're almost at 430 degrees. We're at 430 degrees at just a little over 10 minutes, 10:10, 10:15. I'm turning on the cooling and mixing, cutting off the gas, checking the pins. Looks nice. So we're right at about 436 degrees. So here we are, 16 pounds of Brazil coffee, just a little over 10 minutes. Took it up to about 435, 36 degrees.